Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. Today I am going to teach how to make the complete tutorial of Laravel and Vue.js. So let's see how to work with the RESTful API with Laravel and Vue.js. First, what I am going to do is first I am going to create the Laravel 9 project. First we have to install it. So how to install it in your machine is you have to go to the Laravel official website. Type on the Google Laravel. This is the official website. Click on here. It goes to the respective website. So this is the official website of Laravel, right? So what I'm going to do is here we have to type get started. Here you have to go to the installation. This is the installation. So here you have to installation. What is the operation you have? You have to select the particular operating system. So I have a Windows. So I just click on the Windows, right? So if you have click Windows. So here this is the documentation explain how to install the Laravel program into your Windows machine. So you can see here, right? So here this is simple command here, right? Okay, before that you have to install the composer, right? How to install the composer you already studied, right? Okay, no problem. So I'm going to install via the composer. So here this is the composer. This is a simple way you have to create the composer, create project. This is a predefined keywords, right? Laravel. Here you have to. This is you can change your name as your project, right? So I just copy this one. Control C to copy. I'm going to go to my E drive. This is my E drive. So I'm going to create the project, right? So E drive. I'm going to create the project. Uh, project as. Here I'm going to create the project as school office. I'm going to create the office. Whatever, this is a folder. I'm going to create the folder which is office. So you can create any name of the folder. I just create the folder name as office. Here I'm going to inside the folder I'm going to create my projects, right? So you have inside the project bar you can see it's my, if you open the folder you can get this address bar. You type here cmd. Here you have to copy. Here inside this folder I'm going to install my Laravel projects. Okay, so how to install, this is the command which you are going to run in your machine. Copy it back to your cmd. Here copy paste it. You can see here this command. You will be able to here change your name of the app. I'm going to change the app as office app. Okay, press enter key on your keyboard. You have to wait until your projects get installed. Okay, here your Laravel 9 project is, it will be installed. This is the latest version of Laravel. You have to wait until the installation completed. Now your Laravel project has been installed successfully. Here created successfully. You have to get this success message. Info application, all the things are success. Okay. Okay, here all things are success without any failure. Now if you go to the your folder, you can see here inside the folder. Here there will be the inside the folder, there will be another folder created. Office app. This is the project name I have given. So instead of that, you can give, this is the backend application Laravel. So you have to give as a Office backend. Okay, this is the industrial experience. You have to call like this Laravel slash Office backend. A backend. Okay, right. Now here this is a separate folder we have created. This is a backend. This all things are related to the backend operations. Okay, double click and open it. Here double click. Here have to type cmd. Here if you are not installed the view if you are not installed the vs code editor, you must install the vs code editor. Okay, visual code editor, visual code, this is the full mean, visual code editor. Okay, you have to go and download them and install your machine. This is a professional editor to write the php codes, right? Now let's back to our uh, project window, right? Okay, I already installed. After install, type you go to your project. Okay, this is your project folder. Double click and open it. Here inside the project you can see here is a project directory cmd. You have to open this all the folder into your vs code editor. You just type on this command. If you type this command code space dot, press enter key, this all your folder will be open on the vs code editor right here. Yes, it's trust author, right? So all things are installed, open into your folder, right? Okay, now we'll test that whether it's working fine or not. What I did here is, here we have to close all this command prompt. All things I open it, so I just close it all. Okay, right. We keep only one command prompt. Right, this is installation. Right. Okay, now here we have to run the application. You have to run it here. Terminal. Here there will be the terminal window. New. You have to run here. Otherwise, here you have command prompt. Okay, here also. Now you are in the office folder. Okay, now inside the office folder, how to run it? You have to go. You have to access this folder. How to access this folder? So type on this command cd office app. Press enter key. Now you are in which folder? Inside this folder. Right now you will be able to run the command. This is the simple way we have run it. Okay, otherwise you will be run it here or here, the same thing, but I am running here. It's simple. Okay, so PHP artisan, you write PHP artisan serve. You write like this here. Press enter key. It generates all the ports and all. You will be running. Okay. Otherwise, if it is easy for you all, so you have to go here. You have to run it on here. Simply here PHP artisan serve. Press enter key. Now here port is generated. I just copy this port, go here and paste it over here. Sorry, this is not this one. Okay, rid of these lines. Okay, this right now you can see whether it's working fine or not. Your Laravel application is working fine or not. Here it is success. Okay, this is the latest version. It's installed successfully. Right, perfect. After that, what you are going to do here is we have to make the simple form step by step. Let's see how to do the step by step. Right. Now what I'm going to do is here, first I'm going to go to my, if you are not going to watch my blogs, tutors funny blog, you just go and watch it. My Laravel 9, you will be getting the updates. We have a, if you want to Laravel 8, you will be, there will be the option Laravel 8. Here Laravel 9. Okay, you have a option here, Laravel Crud. Okay, here, let's go to read more. You can see here how to develop the CRUD system. I will be step by step. I will be attach a video tutorial. You will be able to see. Okay. So the same thing. Here we have create the project. I already saw. After that, what you are going to do is after create the project, you have to configure the database. Okay. Database configure is must. Okay. So you must install the Zam Server in your machine. If you are not installed, you must install the Zam in your machine. Okay. You have to go to the Zam. Okay. This is the Apache. You have to install this in your machine. Right. I already installed. After install, you have to open it up. So here this one, right? Sure, I already open it. I install and open the software right like this. Okay. After open, it will be start. You click these both buttons. Start. After that, it will be changed as stop. Okay. The port, all the things are generated successfully here. Okay. Then if this two ports are running success, your application is running, right? So after that, if it is running, you go to the simply you have to go to the localhost. You simply type on the address bar localhost / my php my type and enter. You are getting this screen. Now here this screen, I'm going to create a new database. New, simply you have to create the database here, office. Whatever name you can give the create the database. Okay, I have I just the example purpose I'm going to create as office. Right. My database has been created successfully. Then that is the things you have to do. After that, if the database creation successfully, you back to your Laravel project again here. Here now what I'm going to do is, now your server is running already. I just control C. Here is telling if you want to stop the server, it will be telling press Control plus C to stop the server. So control key, hold on the control key down and press C on your keyboard. Your server is stopped. Now you will be able to, it will be allowed to type the command to create the database and all, right? So now my database has been created successfully. Now I want to create the tables. So tables we have created in here. Here after create the database, what your the documentation said, change the env file, you have to give the name of the database, right? So the follow, you have to go through the project along with the documentation, then only you have to learn, right? So where's the env file? Here is the env file. You click on the env file. What's the database you have created? You go and see office. So back to your project. This is your project. You can see there will be the section which is the MySQL configuration section is there. DB connection, MySQL, this is the host, this is the port, this is the database name, root, all the things are there. Here I'm going to change the DB database name as you have created the database name is office. You already created office. That's it. That's the thing you have to do. But that's the thing we have to do, right? Okay. You just save all, right? Now you have created the database, right? After that, after done the stuff, what you're going to do is go back to my document. It's simple. If you go through the documentation, our thing is simple. Right here, it's working. After that, you have a table creation. You create the database. What is the database have? Database have a tables, right? Database have a tables, right? So how to create the table? You can type this command: PHP artisan make migrate create your table name. Here I'm going to mention as students. You would create the table name. What is the table name here? Right now, I just copy this one. Right, back to my project. Here I'm going to you have to paste it over here. Right, I'm going to change this one as a, instead of the students, I'm going to change as employees. Okay, your type S. Don't forget this one. S is must. Right, this is the professional way to get the tape. Right. If I type, it take too much of time to complete. That's why I just copy and paste it. Okay, don't think me as wrong. So here PHP, your type space artisan space make colon migration space create uh create here after the tables employee means a table name, whatever table name you can give here. Okay, this one only you have to change the name of the table. Okay, the other things are all the predefined Laravel keywords, right? You don't change this one, this all things. It never work. Only you have to change it. You have to give the table name only, right? After that, press enter key. Now you can see created migration. Now, if you get this info command, your table has been created. Migrated means your table has been created. Okay, we can find that. Go and see where's your database folder. Inside the database folder, we have a tables, employee tables. You click and drag it. If you click this arrow here, you can see here there will be the three different folders are there. Okay, factories, migration seeders. You go inside the migration folder. Inside the migration folder, we have a create employee table. Click on this. Right. Click on here. You can see this is the auto generated ID and times. This is defaultly created. If you are type this command, php my artisan migrate create employee table. This is a default table. It has been created in Laravel. Here you have to here you have to declare your table fields. What are the fields you need? Okay, so right. So how to define the table fields? So here simply I have typed this one. I'm going to type all things as string. So you type this to all things, right? So I just copy and paste it over here. Okay, right? So how to type and sign table. Okay, table. Name is a string, data type string. So this is not a arrow. This is you have double single quotation. You have type the single quotation like this, right? This is it will be generate this one. This is not this one. Single quotation. After that you have type like this. Okay, if you want to type and show you here, sign table. It will be here arrow key arrow string. Okay, you have to write the address. Second thing is address. The address. Employee name, so address and mobile. Okay, mobile also I have to paste it. Okay, this is three columns are there, right? This all are single quotation. Okay, right. Okay, right. Now we have created three columns, right? Along with the ID. ID will be the auto increment, right? Okay, where you can see the up function and down function. These are there. If you have to drop the table, you have to call the drop function, right? So here I'm going to create a table. So this one. Okay, so how to create the table? If you are type table never created, okay, we have to run the migrate command. So how to run the migrate command? Here every step is there. Okay, here table creation. How to type the migrate command? Here type php artisan migrate. Your table has been created. So here type php artisan migrate. Press enter key. You can see here table is creating. Okay, here employee here creating. Now you go and check in your database table whether it's creating or not. Here at the moment is not table is found, and at the moment only your database is name is there, but inside your database nothing. It's an empty database you have. Now you have created. Now if you refresh it and check here, now you have this following table has been created. Okay, here employees, all the things are created, but it's empty. Right. Now what I'm going to do is this all the things are created successfully. Now back to my documentation. Now I'm going to create the controller. Okay, now we have created the database and table. After that we have to controller. Okay, so first we have to create the controller. How to create the controller? You have to run this command php artisan make controller. Here at the first time how to create the migration part, the same thing. Okay, if you have learned this one, the same thing you have to php right here php artisan make migration created. The same thing you have to change as php artisan make. This time we have to write a controller. How to create the controller? php artisan make colon controller name. You have to resources. Okay, at this time we no need the resources the keyword, right? Resources mean we no need to I'm not going to only we have to view the records only. I'm telling. So I'm going. This time I'm not doing. So here just copy this. I don't want to the restful resource controller. I need a simple controller. Okay. So I just copy this one. PHP artisan make controller only the controller name. So here let's back here. Paste it over here. Here I'm going to get the controllers. Which controller I'm going to create it? Okay, which table I'm going to create? Employee table. So based on the employee table, you have to create a controller as an employee controller. Press enter key. Now you can see the success message. Your employee controller has been created successfully. That's it. Okay, PHP artisan make controller. Right. This is not resource controller mean it is generated the complete CRUD. Okay, so here it's a basic. We will do it in later on. Okay, how to create a RESTful controller, resources controller. Now we will learn without resource control. Okay, you have to be an employee. Okay, so empty controller has been created. You can check whether controller has been created or not. Go to the app folder and inside the app folder there will be the folder which is a HTTP folder. Inside the HTTP folder there will be the folder which is a controllers folder. Inside the controller folder there will be the page name which is a employee controller.php. Right, if you click on this one you can see here. Right, it's an empty page. Right. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is, okay, if it is a resource controller, it will be generate all the methods, right? Here functions. So here it is empty controller, it will be empty, right? We want to generate. Okay, don't worry about that. We'll see how to generate, right? So here the same command, the index function will be run. We copy this one, index function, paste it over here. How to create the function? PH public function index. This is an index function I have created. You can give name whatever you want. Okay, I give the index. It's a professional one. Public function index. Start the function and close the function. Here I'm going to load the data from the database. We have to load the data from the database, right? So how to load the database data from the database? You have to give here as right here. What is the table you have to create? Context table, employees table you have to create, right? So what I'm going to do is after that we have to create the models, right? So how to create the model? Before that we have to create the models. Okay, it's a model. The model command create is this one. PHP artisan, the same thing. PHP artisan controller, this controller, controller name. Okay. If it is a model, PHP artisan make model, this is a model name. Model name is, copy this one, simply paste it over here. Sorry, not control. This one, copy it, paste it over here. Here we have to change this one as employee. Press enter key. Yeah, employee model has been created. You can check here the model, inside the model. Employee models, they are here. Here I'm going to create all the fields. Right, before the controller creation, we have to, because the data is coming from the database via the models. So first you have to, after controller has been created, okay, after that you have to go to and create the models, right? Okay, so models. So how to create the models, what are the fields are there, all things are you have mentioned. So here the simple way, this all things I have written, you just copy it, you have to paste it. Okay, don't worry if this all the source code I provide you, but you have to understand the step-by-step process. This is how the model view architecture in PHP works, right? So the table, what's the table you have created? You have to mention table's name. What's the table name? You have to create the table name. What's the table name? Employees is a table name. You have to create the employees. It has ID primary. You can see the primary ID. You have to go to the structure. You can see the primary ID is a primary is set. These are the fields. Okay, this is created by the Laravel. We don't need them. These fields: name, address, mobile. So here name, copy this one. Name, address, there, mobile. Three things I have already I give. Okay, these three. Okay, things are there. So here, what's the fields are we are giving? Okay, ID, name, address, mobile. Right, perfect. Perfect. This is the thing we have to do. Right, your model has been created successfully. Right, let's save out. Right, the model has been created successfully. Here you can see here the table or the table values you are passing. Right, so name, address, and mobile. Right, now let's back to our controller. Controller is reside on the HTTP controllers employee controller. Getting the data, this all the data, right? Here we don't have any data yet. Okay, if the data is available, all the data, it will be loaded coming to model and loaded to the controller. So how to load the controller? We have to change this one as a employees. Employees. What's the model name? Employee. So model name employee. If you type all the data, all the data will be loaded and passing to here, and it is passing this variable. This variable you have call it as a JSON format. So this one is a return view. We don't need this one. Instead of that, you have to type this one as a JSON format. Right? JSON format, you have to write it as a JSON form. This is a format. You have to write like this. Return response arrow JSON context. Sorry, employees. Okay, this all the employee information is loaded and passing the controller. Here it is assigning this variable assigning here. It's loaded as a JSON format. This is the things we have to write. Perfect. Okay, now this one, after that we have to study with the routes. Okay, now here we have done the models part and controllers part. Now we have to do the resources part, not the views. It's we have to do the routes part. Inside the routes, if you type the particular URL, how it works, right? In our, we already done the Laravel Crud system using web API. So this, sorry, web.php. Here we have to connect with the routes. Instead of that, this is the API access. So go to the file which is the api.php. Okay, this is all the things are maintained by the same file. We have to write like this. The same thing you have to write in the API. Okay, right. Wait, I'll tell you. Explain. Don't worry about that. The same thing, right? Okay. These three things I have put it right. So here, first you have to mention your route is where. Sorry, your controller is where. It resides on the app folder. Use app folder inside the HTTP controllers. Your what is the controller name? Employee controller. You have to mention where your controller is reside. After that, you have to give the path. Okay, so routes is a get request. We have to get the data from the database. So it's a get request. Okay, so get request. you have to type employee. If you type employee, type employees. You type employees. I have to bring the data. If you type employees, it goes to the controller. You have to give the path app inside the app, HTTP controller. What is the controller? Contact controller. This is a contact controller class. It is access the action method inside the employee controller. It's not a contact controller, employee controller. So employee controller, it has an action method which is the index. You can go and check. This is employee controller. It has an action method which is the index action method. Okay, if you are calling the index action method of the employee controller. Okay, it's coming here. It's load the data from the model and passing the variable. This variable passing here, it's load the data. This is how it's the RESTful API works. Okay, right? That is the things we have to do it. Okay, right. Okay, so here first you have to give the path of the controller. So your path you have to give here as well. If you type the URL like this, employees, you are passing the information like this. Right. Now let's check whether it's working fine or not. Right. Now this goes to the, you have to run the Laravel project again. We have to run it. You have to run the PHP artisan. So to run the project. It's running now here. This port, you have to copy this one. Go here, run it over here. Now it's running. Now slash, you type employees. Press enter key. Now what? So sorry, not employees. API slash employees. Employee, the models, app, HTTP controllers, app not found. Right. So okay. If the errors come, you have to understand that. What is the thing is, we have to, what you are telling, class app employee not found means the model is not found. Okay, your model you have to get, if you have called the model, but the path we didn't give. So how to give the path? Your model is reside on the app. Inside the app, there are the models here employee. So you write use amp slash models slash your employee. That's it. That's how we have to give the models. Save all. Now it will be wise. Right. You are the, not this slash, not this slash. Perfect. That's it. Now let's, now if you type employees, now here it's blank. Why it's blank? So if you go here and check, there is no data is there. Now let's set the data, some data. Insert, go insert some name. John, address, India, mobile number, something. Dummy mobile number you have to give. Peter, address USA, add some mobile number. Go. Now we have two data, right? You have to go to the browse button. You have two data, right? Now if you go here, where's the API? Here's the API. If you refresh it, now here have a John, and now the API is working successfully. You can see the API is working successfully here. It's working successfully. The API is working successfully. Now my backend is working successfully. API is working successfully. Now this API we are passing to the our front end application. Now my backend application is working perfectly well. Now I am going to connect with the front end application Angular. So first we have to, this is my project directive. We have to install the Angular program, okay, in front end. So what I'm going to do is go to the Google and type Angular CLI. But install the Angular CLI. Okay, Angular CLI. So go to the CLI command of Angular. Okay, so here this is the command. Copy it. Start install them. Back to my, this is a front end application. CMD. Right click. Dot paste it over here. That you have to wait until the process completed. After successfully configure the Angular CLI, I'm going to install the project. So this project is the name of the project. So here I'm going to paste it here. Here I'm going to name it my first project, right? So here, uh, right. So here I'm going to this one. Yes, yes. You can give your name. Okay, I just defaultly just copy and paste. You can give your name. Ng new your project name. Okay. This one should be happy office front end. You can give it, right? So here you have to select here as SCSS. This is the advanced CSS, right? In Angular program. So here you have to wait until the all the dependency get installed, right? So you have to wait. Don't close anything else. You have to wait. Keep wait until the process completed. After install, you can see this is a folder. These are the files, right? So what I'm going to say now, I'm going to this file I'm going to run it. Okay, so here you will be go to this is the folder. Okay, here you are, this one's app my app. You go here and I'm going to start CMD. You have to run it inside this my first project. You have to type CMD, get the command from like this. So you have to run ng serve. You have to run it on ng serve command. So it will be generate the port and all the things automatically. Right? Don't do anything else. Here it will be configuring your machine and all the things, and it will be generate your application. Now here, this is your Angular application port. Okay, it will be configured successfully, right? So here, now what I'm going to do is, this is the port where it will be running. So I just copy this one, Control C, copy, back to my browser and paste it over here, press enter key. Here now your Angular program is running perfectly well. If you get this user interface, your Angular application is running perfectly well in your machine. Here, my project app is running. Okay. Right now, what I'm going to do is I open this project in my VS Code editor. So how to open the project in my VS Code editor? Go to your front end application. This is your front end application. Type CMD and type code space doc. Then your all your project will be open into VS Code editor. Right. So here, yes, trust the authors. You click on this one. After that, what you are going to do is this all your file structure will be open on the VS Code editor. Now here you can see here uh, there is a file inside the src folder index.html, right? This is the main file of Angular application. Okay, you have I hope you have already learned the theory of Angular application. Angular is a single page front end application. So this single page means this is single page, it will be running, right? It will be called the approved folder. So approved. Okay, so here you go to this folder app. So here this one should be the app. Okay, you can run it. So you can go to the app.ts. Say approved. It will be running first. Okay, whatever you are component you are creating, it will be running, right? So here, what I'm going to do is this is another file app module.ts. This is the logic where we write it. Logic means this is the HTML, this is the CSS files, this is the TS. TS means this is the here the if you are consider JavaScript, what you are doing in the JavaScript, so all the validation part you are doing in the JavaScript. Okay, so here in Angular program, if you are doing the validation part, they separated in one file which is a TS file. So all the logics you are typing inside this file. Okay, they are separated. HTML they are separated one file. The CSS style they are separated another file. The TS file they are separated another file. Right. So now I'm going to create another component. Right. So here, how to create another component in Angular? So I'm going to go to Angular app is running. Don't worry, you have to get another CMD. Right. How to create another component? You keep it remember ng this is the command ng generate. Okay, you have to write the first letter. It's perfectly well. Okay, if you write the first letter, it is okay. Okay, if you want, you can write task generate. Okay, don't worry if you write ng generate c mean component. Here you have to write the component name. Here I'm going to write the component name, which is a employee. It's employee cred. Press enter key. Now you have to wait until the component will create it, right? So it will be created. The first time it will take some time to create. So if you are create one more two or times the component, okay, it will be created. Once you enter the enter button, it will be created, right? Yeah, if you are click, if you are write like this for file is important. If this for file not created, there is a problem in your project. Okay? It is created here HTML, this is CSS, this is TS. These three files are very must. Okay, right? It will be created. You get the success message. Okay, right now let's go back to our project. This is project, right? So you can see here app inside the app folder here there is another new folder which will be created. There is another folder which is created, which name is employee create. So employee create, inside the folder you can see those files, HTML, CSS and TS file, right? The HTML where we are doing the designs and all, right? Now first what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to go to, this is your HTML, this file I'm going to set it into the app component HTML, right? So here this is the basic HTML part, right? So here is the basic one, right? Here I'm going to set it to this one, this component I'm going to set it first, right? So here this all the things I'm going to get rid of these lines. I don't need them. All things I only you have to keep router outlet. This is must, okay? Router outlet, this was when you are doing the routes part, this is must, right? So you keep on this one. So other things we don't need them. We have to call that which component need to be loaded first. I'm going to call the employee cred component. So employee cred project, you have to go to the TS file. You can see the selector ID. This is the ID. You just copy this particular ID and back to your app component HTML. Here you have to paste them, and here we have to write like this. Okay, now you can see here whether it's working fine or not. Employee cred is working. If it is okay, now here you can I haven't saved up. You save all and check back. Here it's working perfectly well. Now your component is loaded first, working well, which is employee cred. Right, perfect. Now what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to create the files. So what I'm going to do is, here I'm going to the CSS file and all the things I'm going to create it, form and all the things I'm going to create. Don't worry about that. First what I'm going to do is, this is the file. So first you have to go to the Bootstrap implementation. First you have to type the Bootstrap implementation. First you have to let me install the Bootstrap. Okay, Angular application, you have to install the Bootstrap. So how to install the Bootstrap? Then only we have to add the Bootstrap, right? So this is the fair. This is the project employee front end. Here I'm going to install the Bootstrap. npm install I Bootstrap. Bootstrap. Okay. This is must. Then only we have to connect with the Bootstrap forms and all in Angular program. You have to wait until the process completed, right? Now here the Bootstrap installed successfully. Now you will be able to see it's installed or not. Go to the node modules folder. Here you will be able to see there will be a folder which name is Bootstrap inside this package. Bootstrap, you will be able to see the folder which name is Bootstrap. Here there will be the file which is Bootstrap, right? Here inside Bootstrap, here dist, inside this one CSS, this here the min.css, we have to give the style, right? So how to import them? It's simply you have to go to the style section in latest version. If you have installed this one, it won't work. You have to give the path. The path you have to give the path here as a main style.scss. This file is reside on the src folder. Inside the src folder you can see that this is HTML. Okay, here you can see that this is the main css styles. Okay, If you apply here, it is apply every, this is a global one. Okay, it will be applied in your all your project, right? So here you have to import this one as here. I'll give you this one. The path you have to give bootstrap dist css, this bootstrap path you have to give, right? So you have to give right here. This is the global one. It's a global one. If you are use here, this entire bootstrap style will be uh, applying in all over the project, right? So if you are import here, right? So save all. Now let's go to the google and let's see whether it's working or not. Bootstrap form. If you type bootstrap form bootstrap here, this simple form, right? Let's copy this form, paste it in this one. Employee component HTML. You have to paste over here. Control S to save. Let's back to your project and see whether it's here. The form is working successfully because your application is working, right? Okay, now here what you are going to do is, yeah, I don't need these fields, right? We just with this one, all the we other things we have to keep all. You have to get rid of this on another fields, all the things. Keep only one. This one we have to modify them, right? Only we need placeholder. Other things we don't need them. We have to cut off these lines. This one also. What is our API going on? Employee name, address, and mobile, right? So these three fields you have to do it. This is input text. We have to type text, right? This is a bootstrap style. So here this one should be the name. So type name. We no need, just you have to name only. You have to leave it as name only. This one ID also you have to use name. The same thing we have to write this one. Same thing, I just copy it, paste it below. Right. This one you have to. This is one as a second API is address and mobile. Address. Yeah, address. This one also, sorry. This address. This is the same thing also. ID also you have to address. This is a mobile. You have to have mobile. We have three fields. You have type mobile, right? So here also mobile. Right now here, enter the mobile, enter the address, enter the name. So that's it. Control S to save and back to your application and check whether it's working fine. It's working perfectly well. Now we need a space between this text and button. So how to leave the space? You have to leave it here as empty for. Control S to save. You can check we get the little bit space in between the text field and button, right? So now what I'm going to do is go to the here. We have made simple style, right? The style we have to apply it, right? Okay, this style we need it. So what I'm going to say, we have to make a container and card. So we have to these two things I'm going to get them. Container. Okay, we have to put it into the div tag class. You already know div tag container. All this is a card. It's a bootstrap simple design, right? So you have to open the div. You must close the div. We have two divs. You have to open it. So we have to close two divs, right? So the additional styles, right? If I okay here I'm not going to explain these lines. You have to already know about your basic bootstrap, right? So this what is a container, all the things. If you are not understand what is this is, you just go and learn bootstrap, right? Control S to save. Here you can get your nice card looking. Here this is your text field. You will be able to enter your text, right? The card we have to give the name. We haven't give the name, so you have to give h1 tag. You're inside the h1 tag. You write employee registration. Control save. Back to your application. Okay, here it's perfectly well. Your application is now perfectly well. This is a card window, right? It's perfectly well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to anything you have to create the table. You have to create the table. Your form tag is successfully completed. Right? your form tag is successfully completed. Now you have to do the another thing is a table, right? Bootstrap table also you have to implement the Bootstrap table. So you go to the Google and type Bootstrap table. Get them here. The simple Bootstrap table. You just copy this one lines. Blank table. Copy it. You have to paste it below. Now save. Back my project. You can see here, but we need a space, right? So what I'm gonna do is here also we are writing and we have to write the heading. We'll also put it the div tag here also will div container class. The same thing I'm going to put it here. This separate, this is separate div. Right, it's perfect here. It's perfect well. So here we have here we can load our here this one should be you have to name it as name we have given as employee table. It's working perfectly well, right? The simple design we have written in the Angular program, right? So now what I'm going to do is everything perfectly well. Now let's this body tag I'm going to only keep one record inside the t body. Other things you get rid of this line. So here we have to write these lines. First ID, name, address, this mobile. Control save. Back here. Oh, it's working. Now all those things are working. Now we have to do the logic only, right? How it's a work, we have to set the logic, right? So now what I'm going to do is Angular application. Moving to the TS file. Don't worry, I'll be explaining. These four variables I'm going to copy it. So sorry. First what I'm going to do is right. First I'm going to copy these lines. Right. Now your design is over. Now let's go to the logic part. Logic means it's a coding part. So let's go to there is a file which is separate file. Employee create component.tss. Go this file. Okay, go to this file. Now what I'm going to do is this file. After that, here about the constructor of the class, you'll paste here. Here, how to write is these lines. If I'm going to write, it take too much of time to complete it, so that I have copy and paste it. How to write employee array colon any. You have to put this bracket equal this bracket. So it's any mean any record as array. This one should be blank. All the array record we have to put into here, right? After that we have to create the variable is result loaded false, is updated form active false, right? So this one we will be uh, I'll be explaining in few minutes, right? So after that, okay, this one only you have to remember. Okay, this employee, this one we have created the three variables. Okay, this one integer variable because we have three fields. What are those fields? Name, address, and mobile. So the same thing you have to create three fields, three variables. Employee, the string variable. This is how we have created the variable in Angular. I know you already know how to create the variable in Angular. You have to create the Angular variable just like this. Name string, address string, mobile number like this. You have to create another simple variable, current employee ID. This one we have to we forgot about these lines. Okay, we have I'll be teaching few minutes, right? Only remember this one only, these three variables, right? Now what I'm going to do is here, we have to go to the app component.ts file. Sorry, app component.model.ts. Here we have to do some configuration inside the imports section. So comma, here we have to write the form module. Form module. You have to import this one. Then only we will be able to work the forms. After that, comma, here you have to write HTML client model. So you have a, if it is not coming here any bulb symbol to add the path, you have to add manually. So I give the coding, don't worry about that. You have to, the path reside on here. You have to write import this one. You have to import, you have to write import HTTP client bracket open bracket close HTTP client model from inside the double quotation. You have to write at angular uh, comma colon common colon HTTP. This is the path where we given, right? So it is reside on here, right? It works. That's it. That's the thing. Yeah, the error go away. Now let's back to our CRUD application. Now you will be able to use the forms, right? Now you have to, when you communicate the API, this one is must, right? After that, what I'm going to do is we have to do after API is completed. This is how we have to give the APIs, right? So now let's go to our TS file. So the TS file, we have to do this implementation. HTTP client, you have to implement this. You have to go to the employee CRUD component. This one, sorry, employee TS. This is the file we have created. Here we have generated this one, HTTP client. This one, you have to add this one here. Import this one. It is important, right? That's the things we have to do it. Okay, right? That's the thing we have to do. It's simple. Okay, it's constructor private. Sorry, here you have your private constructor. You have to write here this one, not there. Import it over here. That is a constructor of the class. Then only the HTTP client request is work if you are write like this. Then otherwise it won't work. That's the thing you have to do it. Right. Now first what I'm going to do is this API we have to load into our table. So how to do the things? Okay. We have to load that into our table. So then what I'm going to do is we have to create the function get employee open bracket and close bracket. Inside here what I did here is we have create the API. So this form HTTP means this HTTP. You already here HTTP client here to import them. Okay, it already import them. This HTTP mean HTTP through it will be communicated with the data to get request. To get request. We have all things we have checked through the Postman. All the things are get request. It will be working through the get request. Okay, so here get request. Data is coming here the get request. Okay, so here the get request, right? So get request. So get, this is the address where we communicate with the data. This API. Which API? This is the API. You just copy this API, paste over here, right? After that, there is a mean subscribe. Subscribe mean when you get this when you access this API in Angular program, it will be subscribes. Okay, until get the result, it will subscribe and get the data, get the result data and any fields. After that, this dot is result loaded is true. After that, all the data it will be, you can check it through console whether it's coming or not. After that, it will be passing to the employee array. This employee, you have to implement the employee array here. It is employee array, and it will be get this result. This result. This API, it will be subscribed and get the data. This data we have to get it into the passing to the employee array. This employee array you have to pass into your form to get the result. Okay, so whereas your form table, this is the table. So let's go to our table. The table. Let's do the things. Right, don't worry about that. I'll be explaining it. Right, now here this table. This table. First, you have to load at first. First you have to loading this one. Okay, first you have to loading the one, right? So you have to write, so this thread h1 loading. After that, this tr tag, this tr tag, you have to put it ng4. ng4 means we have to write the loop in the for loop. How to write the for loop? This one you have to I'll be explain few minutes. Here the tr tag we have to write the ng4 means we have to write the for loop and loop how many data is here, this loop it and passing data into a database table column. So a for loop, let mean it is a variable. You have to use a variable. Employee items, we have to create the variable employee item of employee array mean in the ts file we have create the array. This is the array, employee array. Here this array record is all the record will be passing to this array. This array we have to write here, it is passing to employee items. So here we have one by one we have to get the items. So how to get the item one by one? First you have to get this one as employee name. Okay, employee name. So here employee name. Here if you want id, I need id as well. Not here, this one's heading also. So here, don't, sorry, not here, here it's id, employee id. So where's the t? You'll pass it here, sorry, right, that's the thing you have to do. Tr, right, okay. Employee id, here we need employee id as well. So you need employee id as well. So employee id, right. This also we don't need them, only this one uppercase you have to put it. After the address, employee tag, this is address mobile, address, after that mobile. Right, that's it. That's the thing you have to do it. Okay, it's load them, right? That's the thing you have to do it, right? That's the only thing it will be does. Let's save. Let's go here. Loading, but the result employee ID row and row. Okay, then by the result, right click and proper inspect here, check them. Okay, the problem is here. This is not a problem. The problem is here. We didn't call the ts file. It's working. We didn't call it in the constructor. This employee method, when the home is loaded, call inside the constructor. So I think let's call it. Okay, let's call it here. This dot, right. Now let's check. Control S. Right, it's working. Here it's working perfectly well. This ID is display is a name, address, mobile. It's working perfectly well. This is how we have written the value into the table. Okay. I hope you guys will understood things well. Thank you for watching. I'll be seeing my next lecture.